And like we teased earlier with our first news story here, winter weather disrupts Idaho, comes by several sources. As many of us know and have experienced, winter weather has been sweeping across our state. From DoorDash suspending operations due to severe blizzard conditions to power poles snapping under extreme winds, it has been an interesting week for Idahoans and the weather. Starting with the first one, DoorDash has activated its severe weather protocol. Ooh, spooky. Suspending operations across several areas in Idaho. This measure comes as a severe winter storm delivers potentially dangerous conditions, including heavy snow and strong winds. The affected areas include Idaho Falls, Pocatello, Twin Falls, Rexburg, and many others. DoorDash spokesperson Julianne Crowley thanked the affected DoorDashers, merchants, and customers for their understanding during these difficult weather conditions. Meanwhile, Idaho Power reported that extreme winds in the Burley area snapped dozens of rural power poles. Wind gusts were recorded between 45 and 50 miles an hour, causing hazardous conditions over a good chunk of eastern Idaho. Idaho Power crews have been working tirelessly to repair the damage and restore power to affected residents. The National Weather Service has issued a winter storm warning and wind chilling warning for the weekend or past weekend, depending on when you're listening to this. Travel could be very difficult and impossible. The warning says dangerous cold wind chills are expected to be as low as 40 below zero in areas like Idaho Falls, Rexburg, St. Anthony, Victor, Ashton, Teutonia, and Driggs. Idaho State Police have partnered with local law enforcement agencies and the Idaho Department of Transportation are ensuring that they're out in force during the storm that could create extremely dangerous road conditions, you think? Captain Chris Wiedeck with the Idaho State Police advised residents to decide if they really need to be driving during the storm or not. If they decide they need to travel, remember the roads are slick, the wind is fast, and there are more people on the road than just you. Lastly, a cold wave is bringing sub-zero temperatures to the region. The National Weather Service predicts temperatures minus 10 degrees on Friday, minus 14 on Saturday, and minus 9 on Sunday, and minus 6 on Monday. Officials are urging people to be prepared. Vista officials recommend having an emergency preparedness kit on hand at all times. Which, out of all those things, kind of trying to mash those up, there's a lot of snow, and there's a lot of cold in Idaho, and be careful, basically.
Yeah, the thing that made me laugh is the recommendation is don't get out if you don't need to. And then here in the greater Boise metro area, you had Boise schools closed, but West Ada and Nampa were both open. And then later in the week, we had Boise open, but then West Ada and Nampa were closed. So it's like, well, okay, cool. If you don't have to get out, you shouldn't. But who's making these choices as to which things stay open and which closed? It seems a little arbitrary. I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it is funny. It really is. I know I am on the homeschool end of things, and so the public school side of things I don't know as much about. But I did hear from some different families that they have their children go to public school here on the west end of the valley. And I heard, we'll put it this way, Canyon County residents that go to public schools were a little bit up in arms about the whole thing. That like, wait a second, you got X amount of snow in Boise, you got all this snow here, and you didn't close down. And so what happened is that the school district was like, okay, fine, we'll close tomorrow because we're going to get more snow. So they closed it, everywhere else. But then Boise was like, we didn't get as much snow as last time. So they were open. And so it causes this like weird, disjointed, just the world of politics is fascinating.
Yeah, that all definitely made me laugh. And it also made me glad that I was homeschooled.
Yes. So for all you that have to go to work and commute and all those different things, Godspeed to you. Thankfully, most of the snow seems to be falling on the weekend. So hopefully by Monday, all the crews will have gotten stuff cleared. And this next week for you should be reasonably nice for commuting. And you'll just have to deal with some really cold temperatures. But, that's Idaho for January. It likes to mess with us and see how far it can turn the dial in the direction of cold during the winter.
Yeah, my children were complaining around Christmas that it hadn't been cold in winter enough yet. And I was like, just wait. Wait for January.
Idaho has not hit its January and February stride yet.